Hi yogis, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time practicing with me, Namaste, welcome to Sensationally Balanced. My name is Michelle. Today's practice, our theme is about getting grounded for the holidays. So I thought, why not bring in a special little theme as we are approaching the holidays, and of course with already all the a little bit of extra craziness we've had this year in 2020. So I really thought it would be a great practice to allow ourselves to be in the mindset of being grounded. So focusing on a gentle flow practice today and a guided practice through the root chakra. So root chakra is our grounding center, all about the emotional foundation of feeling secure and safe, and root chakra related with earth. So we'll be really focusing on that. I'll kind of speak into that, bring in a little bit, a few affirmations as well, and just being in that energy of what it feels like when we get ourselves grounded, and bringing that into, bringing that off of your mat and into your life, and being in your mindset of being able to ground yourself, especially when things are a little over the top, a little extra chaotic. Again, with the holidays, maybe, this holiday season, the shopping is going to be very different for you, and or just family time is going to be different. And so getting ourselves to a place of not being attached to how things were, and allowing ourselves to be in a place of accepting what is. And that comes with, I believe, allowing ourselves to be grounded in that. So being grounded in what it is that you need to feel secure, to feel safe, to feel at peace, and to bring that forth through the rest of this month for you. All right, so I hope that sounds delicious for you. And let's get started. Props today will be blocks, and let's actually get started sitting on a block. If you don't have a block to sit, you can use, a pillow. We will be using the blocks in one of our other poses. So if you don't have those available today, I'll give you some modifications, all right? All right, everybody, let's get started in our easy seated pose, sitting on our block, sitting up nice and tall. And we want to focus on rooting down through the sit bones. And before we take our cleansing breath, let's focus on our root chakra. So the root chakra is located at the base of the spine. I can think of the tailbone, and also in the perineum area. And that color of red, and the energy and element of earth. So making that connection of rooting down through that root chakra to Mother Earth. And now let's take an inhale to lengthening through the spine as we root down. And then as you exhale, just let the shoulders softly glide down the back, letting go of any tension in your jaw. And let's take 2 rounds of cleansing breath here. Inhaling through the nose, all the way down to the root chakra. Exhaling out the mouth. And once again, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Simply returning back to your breath. Taking a few rounds here to settle here into this time that you've created for yourself. Letting go of any expectations. Continuing to root down. We're taking one last cleansing breath here. And slowly opening your eyes. Very good. From here, we're going to transition into Malasana or Yogi Squat. And we're going to do that modified. So staying on our block. You'll just widen your feet. Kind of centering yourself here on your block. Again, if you don't have a block, you can do Malasana without the block underneath you. So you still just come to place your feet down. And then we're going to bring the elbows to the inner thighs or to the inner knees and bringing the palms of the hands together in Anjali Mudra. And then see if you can bring those thumbs in to the heart as you gently press the knees and, the elbows into the knees as you widen the knees, opening up the hips here. Now what we want to focus on is rooting down through the tailbone, through that root chakra, and lengthening up through the crown. And then you want to focus also on grounding down through your feet. So notice if your toes are kind of lifting off or your feet aren't completely grounded down, really focus on energetically grounding the feet down. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Our first affirmation here. I am rooted and grounded. I am rooted and grounded. So despite all things going on around me, I am rooted and grounded. Take 3 more slow breaths here. Purposeful breaths down to the root chakra. Last breath. Let's take a cleansing inhale and exhale. And opening the eyes. Very good. Let's release the arms. Let's just do a little bit of a wrist stretch here. So just rotating through the wrist. Might feel a little bit of cracking going on or here a little bit. Good. From here, we're going to make our way into tabletop. So you can just cross at the ankles, turn yourself over into your tabletop, and then bring your blocks, if you have your blocks with you, in front of you here. And making our way into our tabletop here, we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. So we want to make sure that the shoulders are aligned over the wrist, hips are aligned over the knees. And then as we focus on grounding down today, we really want to focus on the hands, rooting down, fingers are spread nice and wide, and then pressing through the tops of your feet. Making our way into our cow. Inhale, drop the belly, reach that tailbone up towards the sky. And send the heart forward as you draw the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, pressing away, coming into your cat. We want to arch through the spine. Arms are active here, really pressing away. Chin towards chest. Good. Let's take 3 more rounds here. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to press away. 2 more on your own. Affirmation, I am deeply rooted. I am deeply rooted. Let's just take 1 more flow with that mantra or that affirmation. Good. And from here, we'll all come back to neutral spine. And let's just do a little wrist stretch here. So again, we'll press into that right hand, and then let's just rotate through that left wrist. And then bring that left hand down and rotate through the right wrist. And then 1 more wrist stretch here. We're going to flip the hand over. So the palm of the hand is going to be facing up, and then pressing the top of your hand into your mat. So just a gentle press as you feel that stretch in the top of the wrist. Good, then we'll switch to the other side. Putting light pressure just till you feel that stretch. And then bring the palm of the hand back down. From here, we'll transition into a downward dog. So walk your hands out just a little further out in front of you. Grounding down through the hands. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Middle finger should be facing forward. Tuck your toes, and let's take an inhale to the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in, and then start lifting the hips as you send the heels up and down. First downward dog here. Let's really just kind of walk ourselves into it. Maybe walk side to side a little. You can always have a nice gentle bend in the knees if the hamstrings are really tight, or if the heels aren't able to make it all the way down to the earth. That's perfectly fine. Just energetically press into the legs as you try to send the heels down. And we want to hug those triceps in towards one another to open up the upper back through across the shoulders. Pressing down through all the fingertips. And let's take 1 more breath here. Full inhale to the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in and up. Send that heart back towards the thighs, and then see if you can press the heels down even more. Beautiful. 2 more breaths right here. Feeling yourself grounded and rooted. Good. Now let's press into that left foot. Reach that right leg up. And we don't want it so high that the hip comes up higher than the left. So we want to keep the hips level. And then let's take an inhale. Bring that right knee in towards our nose. And then bringing that right foot all the way up as we come into a low lunge. You can untuck the toes. And this is where we'll use our blocks here. So just a little modified, gentle lunge. Take an inhale, reach the heart forward, send the hips forward, and then let the hips root down. Pull the belly in, tuck the tailbone, and draw those shoulders down and away from the ears, opening up across the collarbone. Making sure the front knee is aligned over that ankle, pressing down through all 4 corners of the right foot. And that left cheek is gently engaged. And our affirmation here, I am safe. I am safe. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last breath. And we'll take an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to press back, coming into half monkey. So you'll press into that right heel as you send the hips back. You can walk the blocks back even closer towards you. Or if you're not using any blocks and you just have your hands down, you can either have the hands stretch out further in front of you or back closer. Whatever feels right in your body and supports you here in this pose. Draw the shoulders down the back. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And then we'll come into a little bit of a flow here. So we'll come back into our low lunge. Inhale, coming forward. Let those hips sink down. And then exhale, pressing away, coming back into half monkey or runner's lunge. And taking this flow 2 more times. So inhale, rocking forward, nice and slow. Allow yourself to come all the way forward, letting those hips sink down, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, pressing back into your half monkey. And last time here, inhale, rocking forward. Feeling yourself grounded and rooted down. And then exhale, pressing back. And then we'll make our way back into our low lunge. Just set the blocks off to your side. We'll transition back into our downward dog. So placing the palms of the hands on the mat, tucking the toes of that left foot, energetically pushing yourself back and making your way to your downward dog. And let's take 5 breaths here. Making any adjustments or movements that feels good for you here. As you focus on grounding and rooting down through the feet, through the heels and the hands. Reaching that heart towards the thighs. Last breath here. And then we'll press into that right foot as we lift the left leg, reaching through the toes. And then inhale, bring that left knee in towards the nose and all the way forward, coming into your low lunge on this side. Untuck the toes, using your blocks. Inhale, reach the heart forward as you bring the hips forward and down. Tailbones tucked. Feeling the energy of the root chakra awakening here. Making the connection of the energy of Mother Earth as we ground down. As I arrive today, I am grounded. As I arrive today, I am grounded. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And we'll make our transition into half monkey on this side. So let's inhale. And then exhale, pressing away. Sending those hips back. Ooh, just noticing if this side feels a little different than the other. This side's definitely a little tighter for me. We typically always have one side that may be a little bit more resistant or just a little less flexible than the other. Just breathing into it. Last breath here. And we'll come into our flow for 3 breaths. So inhale, coming forward. And exhale, pressing back. Inhale to come forward. Rooting down through all 4 corners of that front foot. And then exhale, rooting down through the heel as you press the hips back. Last one, inhale, coming forward. And exhale to press it back. Making your way back into our low lunge, we'll set the blocks off to the side. Make our way back into our downward dog. Last downward dog, tuck the toes, and then energetically pressing yourself back. We'll take 5 breaths here. Affirmation: I am rooted and grounded. All is well. I am rooted and grounded. All is well. 3 breaths. Last breath. Let's take a cleansing inhale and exhale. Good. Coming up onto the balls of the feet. Lowering the knees down and making our way into a child's pose. So big toes to touch. Maybe you widen the knees as wide as your mat if that feels good for you. Send those hips all the way back towards the heels and then reaching, extending the arms out in front as you lower your forehead down. We want to focus on letting those hips root down. And then allow the heart to melt towards the earth. One more breath here. And from here, we'll just walk ourselves over to the left. So walking your hands over to the left for a little side body stretch. Reach that left arm out a little longer than the right. And then lowering yourself down, you can bring that right hand to the left wrist. We want to press that right hip down. A nice deep side body stretch on the right side. Last breath here. And then we'll slowly walk ourselves over to the right side. Extending that right arm as much as you can. Gently placing that left hand on the right wrist. Sinking down that left hip and the left side body. Last breath here. Full exhale. And walking yourself back to center. And then walk the hands all the way in. We'll come back to sit on the heels. So just bringing the thighs and the knees in towards one another. If it's comfortable for you to sit on the heels. If not, you can just come into a easy seated pose. Let's just rest the hands on the thighs. Tuck the tailbone, rooting that tailbone down towards the earth. And gently pull the belly in. Once again, focusing, bringing your attention to your root chakra. Feeling the energetic connection with Mother Earth and this chakra. Feeling grounded. I am safe. I am secure. I am safe. I am secure. Last breath here, cleansing, inhale and exhale. Very good. And we'll just shift over to our left hip. Swing the legs out in front of us. And we'll make our way into a staff pose or dandasana. I like to move the flesh out from the cheeks, especially since we're really focusing on rooting down. So moving the flesh out from the cheeks so the sit bones can sink down, as well as that root chakra opening up down to the earth. Placing the hands, palms down to the side of your hips. So we want to energetically press down through the legs. So our quads are active. And then we want to energetically press down through the hands. Arms are active. And as though you're trying to lift yourself up off of your mat. But we also want to focus on rooting down through the sit bones. Open up across the chest. So draw those shoulder blades back towards one another. Pull the belly in. Good. Holding here for 3 more breaths. Feeling yourself rooted. Feeling yourself grounded. Last breath. As you exhale, let everything soften. Very good. Coming into a forward fold here. Inhale, reach the arms up, rooting down and reaching up at the same time. And then exhale, folding forward. Maybe you bring your hands to the shins or to the ankles, or you're able to grab onto the soles of your feet, or maybe you use your yogi fingers and grabbing onto the big toes, whatever feels good for you here. We'll energetically press down through the thighs, press down through the calves. Nice, straight to long, flat back. And just take a check-in with the shoulders, see if they're up by your ears. We want to draw and glide those shoulder blades down the back, creating some space between the neck and shoulders. And let's take a full inhale through the nose to the belly and lower back. Exhale, let the belly soften. The lower back release. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And releasing the hands. You can bring the hands to the thighs or to your mat. pressing the hands into the thighs or mat, slowly rolling yourself up. Let's take an inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Just holding here for breath. Feeling all that energy that was awakened in the spine, feeling that just flow down the rest of your spine. Good. Opening the eyes. And let's make our way down onto our backs. Lowering yourself down nice and easy. And we'll come into a rooted twist. So cross that right leg over the left. And then just lift the hips up a bit. Shift them over to the right. Lower your hips down. And then we're going to drop the legs over to the left. You can place one hand on the belly and open up that right arm. So placing the left hand on the belly, opening up that right arm, or if you'd like to open up both arms. Maybe you come into goalpost arms. Whatever feels good for you here. I just want you to focus on pressing that right shoulder down to the earth. And then let go of any gripping going on in the glutes or the lower back. So let's take an intentional inhale to the belly and lower back. And as you exhale, let everything soften. And if there's a lot of space between your knees and the floor, you can always use a block underneath the legs. Or if the rooted twist is a little too intense for you, you can unbind the legs and just bring the legs over to the left side. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And bring the arms back into your body. Extend that left leg straight out, and then bring that right knee into your chest, roll onto your back, and then bring the left knee in and rock side to side. Just a little supported way to come out of that pose. Can be a little tense on the lower back. And we'll make our way to the other side. So lowering the feet down, crossing that left leg over the right, lifting the hips, shifting them over to the left, lowering your hips down, and then dropping the legs over to the right. Opening up the arms in whichever position feels good for you. Sinking that left shoulder blade down, shoulder down. And let's take that same inhale, focused breath into the belly and lower back. Exhale, letting the belly soften, the lower back release, and the hips and glutes. Just notice as you allow the lower back and the hips and glutes to soften that the legs just naturally get heavy and fall a little deeper into this twist. Two more breaths here. last breath. And just as we did on the other side, let's bring the arms back into the body. Now we'll extend that right leg out. Bring the left knee into the chest, roll onto your back. And then bring the right knee in and gently rocking side to side. And then we'll bring the feet down one at a time and very slowly making our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So let the legs just fall out to the side, feet fall out to the side. And letting the arms be by the side body with the palms facing up. Gently tucking your chin in, just to elongate through the neck. Let's take a cleansing breath here. Full inhale through the nose, fill the belly up. Open mouth, exhale. Letting everything go. I am supported by Mother Earth. I am supported by Mother Earth. Feeling all this energy of the root chakra that you awaken through your practice, feeling it flow through your body. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose. Fill your belly up. Open mouth, exhale. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rocking your hands side to side, reaching the arms up overhead for a nice deep stretch. Maybe rotate through the wrist and the ankles. And then making your way into fetal pose on one side, whatever is intuitive to you. And taking a breath here. And then slowly pressing yourself up, and we'll meet back in our easy seated pose. Placing the hands on the knees or your thighs, rooting down through the sit bones. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, let the shoulders melt down. Tuning in. Feeling any new energy flowing through your body, especially through the root chakra. Let's bring the palms of the hands together, Anjali Mudra. May you be grounded. May you be rooted in knowing that you are safe and secure. Let's take a cleansing breath here. Remembering that you can always come back to these affirmations whenever you may be feeling a little overwhelmed with the energy of the holidays before us, in this particular season that we're in. Wishing you all a healthy and safe December. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste, yogis. If you enjoyed this practice, please give it a thumbs up or a like. You can always leave me a comment. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, that would be much appreciated, not only for myself and my channel, but for YouTube, so they continue to be able to offer free yoga out into the world. So thank you again for practicing with me. Namaste.